Howdy folks, I hope you're all having a good one as the weekend approaches, and welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles. If you're looking at the team display here and marvelling at the fact that it isn't 100% completely bugged for a change, but thinking to yourself, hang on, why is it only 6 versus 6? That's because this is a clan battle. And taking part in this clan battle, although not in this clan, and we'll explain why that's a thing in a moment, is Shadow the Forbidden, in the Tier 8 German light cruiser, the Cross of Dawn, which looks remarkably like the German Tier 8 light cruiser, the Mines. That's because the Cross of Dawn is the Mines, just with a Warhammer 40,000 skin. It doesn't look particularly Warhammer 40,000 Jingles. I mean, you know, you'd expect more skulls and cathedrals, and yeah, you got me there. I'm not sure why it's not displaying the Warhammer 40k skin. I suspect it's probably more to do with my settings than Shadow's. But trust me, I mean, you can see by the name of the ship, it is the Cross of Dawn, even though that basically just means it's the German Tier 8 light cruiser, the Mines. So, to address the other question, how is Shadow taking part in a clan battle if he's not in a clan? Well, he is in a clan, he's just not in this one. This is the THG clan, of which he is not a member. The thing is, you're still able to take part in clan battles even if you're not in a clan that's perhaps big enough or active enough to field a full team. What the THG clan have done here is they've asked him to join in what Wargaming call a mercenary role, which is a fancy way of saying that if you are a member of a clan and you want to take part in clan battles but you can't field enough active players to form a full clan team, then you can invite, again, I'm not sure on the rules, they tend to change from clan battle season to clan battle season, but you can invite one, possibly two other players to join your team who are not in your clan, and they basically count as being mercenaries. For the purposes of that single individual clan battle, they effectively count as a member of your clan. They get exactly the same participation rewards on a win or a defeat as everybody else. It's a good system. It allows people to take part in clan battles who wouldn't otherwise be able to. So, what exactly is going on here? Well, it's 6 versus 6. This is a domination mode clan battle. The team lineup is interesting, and again, I'm no expert on clan battles because I've never actually played one, and even the World of Warships wiki page has very, very sketchy information available on what clan battles actually are, mostly because in every clan battle season they keep changing the rules. The fact that there's only one battleship on each team, with 2 destroyers and 3 cruisers, would probably indicate that that's the limit on battleships in this current season of clan battles. And since there's already somebody on the team in a common, that explains why Shadow's occupying one of the cruiser spots. The thing about the Mines is it is a light cruiser. And there's a common on the enemy team as well. And you do not want to get shot at by that thing, because you can't even bow tank with this ship, which only has 20... Oh, that's really going to hurt. And that wasn't even the Pommen's final form. It's got more gun turrets ready. Yeah, the Mines, or the Cross of Dawn in this case, basically the same ship, as a light cruiser only has 25mm of plating, which means you can angle against and bounce up to 14-inch armor-piercing shells. But the Pommen has 16-inch armor-piercing shells. And that's really, really hurting. Of course, the Pommen also has exceptionally good secondaries. And oh shit, here it comes again. Let's not worry about the secondaries for the... Oh, that was bad. It could have been worse though. Remember, with only 25mm of bow and stern plating, those 16-inch armor-piercing shells can completely overmatch that kind of armor and basically citadel you from the front or rear. But back to the secondaries, which are still lighting him up. I mean, he's not out of the woods yet, and honestly I suspect that if that Pommen had focused him as a secondary target, he would have already been dead, but I think he's actually focusing the Cossack over onto the right of the screen behind the island over there, which isn't a bad idea. Most battleships find it difficult to hit small, fast-moving targets like destroyers with their main battery guns, and if you've got good secondaries, it does make more sense to focus the secondaries on the destroyer and do colossal amounts of damage to the cruisers with the main battery guns. The friendly Cherbourg, by the way, first casualty, he's just gone down, unfortunately. While the Mines is a good ship, it's not particularly stealthy. 12-kilometre surface detection range. I mean, there are British battleships that have better stealth than that. I'll just pause here while everybody goes away to check whether or not there are actually British battleships who have better stealth than that. There really are, you know. Look at the Tier 8 HMS Hawk. In fact, most of the British Tier 8 and higher battleships have stealth that's not quite as good as the mines, but only slightly worse. And honestly, if you're comparing your stealth in a cruiser to a battleship of any nation, you've got bad stealth. All of which meant that Shadow was having a real hard time going undetected there, as he opened up on the Wichita, who was within 12 kilometres and was spotting him anyway. And the only reason he's still alive right now is because the Cossack took out the Pommern. That has given them a slight points lead, because a battleship's worth more points than a cruiser, but 11 points is absolutely nothing to be relying on. And you might be thinking, well, surely he should be chilling out now because he's redetected once again and he's only got 6,500 health left. And, well, yeah, that's true, but he doesn't have a heal, so he's never going to have more than 6,500 health. And they've just lost the Cleveland, so they're now firmly behind on points, and they need to kill enemy ships in order to win, or take all the caps, which doesn't look likely now that they have a numbers disadvantage. Oh, can he get the Wichita? Shots out with these. I mean, the mines does have very good firepower with 12 150mm guns, and they're very accurate, and yes, he's got the Wichita. Well, they're back ahead on points by 5. But the Nostroshimy over there isn't looking very clever. It does look like the Nostroshimy, at least for the moment, has gotten away with it, largely due to its heel. I mean, it looks like he's on fire there, but the Nostroshimy does have a heel, and it's incredibly stealthy by the standards of Soviet destroyers. I think it may even have better stealth than the Shimakaze, which is absolutely unheard of. Oh, he's taking a hit from something. Something's still shooting him through that smoke screen. I wonder if he's still detected, or whether or not those are just lucky shots. But he absolutely, definitely needs to stay alive, and not just for the obvious reasons, but because, well, with the best stealth in the game, or certainly at least in this battle, and also the best torpedoes available on any Russian destroyer, he's an invaluable asset to the team. So, Nostroshimy, please don't do anything stupid. Okay. Shadow's taking shots at the Atago over there, and he's managed to set a fire, which is good. Taking advantage of the fact that the Atago is shooting at somebody else. Unfortunately, what the Atago was shooting at was the Cossack, and he's just killed him. And the enemy team have managed to flip that second cap circle, so things ain't getting any better anytime soon. The team are now 1 kill, 1 cap, and about 150 points behind, and 2 of the 3 surviving ships on the team, Shadow and the Nostroshimy, don't even have 10,000 hit points between them, so yeah. The surviving battleship, though, the Pommern, I mean, he's still alive, but he's lost an awful lot of health, and he's continuing to lose more. The Rune that he's currently fighting has a reasonable amount of health. The Orkan, who was just spotted over there, and who is now spotting Shadow, was basically on full health. The Atago is basically on full health. I don't know how much health the Z-23 has left, but it's going to be too much. So, yeah. On the bright side, the Nostroshimy has managed to recover a fair amount, but he is just a destroyer, and it's very easy for a destroyer to lose all of its health very, very quickly. There's the Orkan. And he's spotted the Nostroshimy. I mean, Shadow immediately switches fire to the destroyer, who's threatening probably his most useful teammate. And there's cause for a brief celebration here as the Pommern manages to burn down the Rune, but it's only going to be a brief celebration because while there's a lot of good things you can say about the Nostroshimy, being good in a gunfight is not one of them, particularly when it's being focused down by 2 other ships with superior gunfire. And the Pommern is dead too, sunk by torpedoes launched by the Z-23, which means that with 6,000 health remaining, Shadow is the last surviving ship left on the team against 3 enemies. And there's absolutely no way he's going to be able to stealth up and run the clock down on this one, because he's already 300 points behind and the enemy have 2 cap circles. So he's pretty much bending over, grabbing his ankles and kissing his arse goodbye here, because that's an Atago, it's a heavy cruiser. But it's a heavy cruiser that's firing armor-piercing ammunition. Now he did some damage, but remember we talked about the 25mm plating on the Cross of Dawn, or the mines, because they're basically the same thing. Oh, and then the Atago turns to give him broadside, so he instantly switches to armor piercing. Because, of course, the Atago is trying to get its torpedoes away. Oh, and he eats a whole bunch more. And he's about to eat a whole bunch more. And he's dead. 25mm plating will be overmatched by 16-inch armor-piercing shells. But not 15, 14, or in the case of the Atago, 8. If he'd fired high explosive, and the Atago has very strong high explosive shells, Shadow would be dead. But he didn't, so Shadow's still in with a fighting chance. And I say a chance because he's now up against 2 destroyers, both of which vastly out-stealth him. With 3 cap circles and 300 points in the bag, they would be crazy to come and try to fight him. So of course they come to try to fight him. And not just the Orkan, the Z-23 too. Because you couldn't make this shit up if you tried. The Orkan did get torpedoes away, and to be completely fair, Shadow's run out of manoeuvre space and they are going to kill him. But because the Z-23 on 600 health couldn't keep his dick in his pants either, that's a guaranteed loss from an assured victory thrown away in the last 10 seconds. I'll bet you the enemy clan had a few choice words to say to the captains of those 2 destroyers after this battle ended. Oh, I've missed this series. And I know you all have too. But it's back in what I hope you'll agree is pretty spectacular fashion. So thank you to Shadow the Forbidden there, working as a mercenary for the THG clan, I believe, without whom that would have been a defeat. And you lot wouldn't have had anything to watch on Friday. So, thank you to everyone involved. I do hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you're all going to have a great weekend. And of course, as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.